friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Mimi and I have had two highly productive days in the gardens here at the entrance to the nursery and our home, and I want to share them with you. So basically we're going to do a garden tour in reverse a little bit, as far as you just saw a little bit of the footage of Mimi and I working today in the garden. Yesterday we worked our little hearts out, did not film because I'm just going to be flat out honest with you, my friends. Whenever we film a project, it always takes twice as long, 3 times as long to do that, especially if I don't have somebody helping me film. And right now it is crunch time. It is time to get these plants in the ground. It is time to get the gardens cleaned up and fertilized and looking their best, because one, 'tis the season here at Creekside Nursery. We've got customers coming. We want it to look top notch for you sweet people who come to visit us. And the wedding is in 2.5 weeks. So there's that whole thing. So Jenny is feeling the pressure, and so what we did is we did all the work in the last 2 days. It was just Mimi and myself did all of this. Andrew came back and helped us mulch some. So we're just going to go through, because I want to give you an idea. These beds are so interesting in the fact of sun, shade, a little bit of both. It's just a whole fun menagerie. So to give you an idea of where we are at the entrance to the nursery, of course. We live, and the nursery is at the end of, basically it's like a half-mile gravel road. So this is what you see when you come in to the nursery. Hence our mailbox on the right, and then what we call the sign bed is here on the left. We're going to start with the mailbox. The mailbox, this bed is has gone through many transformations over the years. I have found that the Blew My Mind Evolvulus does so well here. Obviously, this bed is not going to be on irrigation. There is no water on this side of the road, and so there's no irrigation. Evolvulus, if I watch it really good for the first 2 to 3 weeks, water as necessary, then I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the season, and really the whole bed. Then this year we decided to do something a little different. I've always done a lot of like the rockin' salvias in here. Wanted to do a little switch it up, so we're doing blue and yellow. And then this is, of course, the Luscious Citron Lantana. And you can see, so Andrew mulched this for us this morning. It looks so nice. But this citron is a nice soft yellow. It will get some good height to it. I want to say it's in that 18 to 24 tall, and then the spread also. So when this flower bed is in its glory, right? The plants are full. You will not be able to see any mulch whatsoever in this bed. The Evolvulus, if you've never grown it, is such a wonderful annual that loves the heat. It loves the humidity. It is drought tolerant. It is just a great plant for those hot, humid areas and that don't get a lot of water. The rain is basically it. And it rained last night, so it was perfect timing. In all of the flower beds, when we do our annuals, we do biotone down, and then the Proven Winners time release fertilizer, come back and top dress with our kind of what we call the Creekside blend mulch, and then there you go. So keeping it really simple, right? Nice low mound of the Blew My Mind, and then the really sweet, soft, luscious citron lantana behind it. This flower bed is coming along so nicely. It has been a labor of love for quite a few years, and Mimi and I are just so excited about this flower bed because of how it has developed, how it is filling in. The perennials are really getting nice and size to them. The shrubs are getting established. My space for my annuals is getting smaller and smaller. So that you understand the layout and the conditions of this flower bed. This is on irrigation. We just added irrigation last year. Previously, no irrigation. But it is on irrigation. It is a nice shady bed. What we're experiencing right now at 4:40 in the afternoon is the most sun that this flower bed gets. I have a tractor trailer getting ready to come up, so I am going to pause for a second. We're going to let the tractor trailer get out of here, and then I'll hold that thought. We'll be right back. third round of caladiums just arrived. Okay, so back to the flower bed. This is definitely a shade bed because the sun rises here. This is east right here. So we have all these nice big mature oak trees all around this flower bed. Mostly definitely a shade bed, and then the sun sets right here, and then this little area will get some sun. Let's walk it through. It does have irrigation. We have got this gorgeous pagoda dogwood that is from Proven Winners. This is Golden Shadows, I want to say. Y'all, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, I'm tired. We'll flash up names on the screen. My memory is it's done for the day, but I absolutely adore this dogwood. It is 1 year in the ground, and the color on it is unbelievable. It is definitely a more of a horizontal type of dogwood than it is vertical. Did not get any flowers off of this year. I don't really care. I love the foliage on it. We went through, of course, and filled in the front. We have got caladiums throughout here. These are ones that we started from corms, so they're a little on the small side. It's all right. They will fill in really, really quickly. And then, of course, I've got to have my Endless Illumination Broalia. I adore this shade-loving annual. Nice, rich purple blue, however that you want to call it. But really the star of the show right now is definitely the dogwood right here, and then, in my opinion, these two hostas. So these hostas are just glorious. This is Blue Angel. Blue Angel, you can see, has that gorgeous blue-green color, huge leaves, heavily corrugated, just doing a phenomenal job, Blue Angel. Next door to the right is the Sum and Substance. Sum and Substance is obviously a nice chartreuse color. We do have Sum and Substance also right here. Don't ask me. I have no idea why these two are so massive and these are small. It's not food, it's not water. I don't know. They like their spot, so hey, they're the star of the show, so they get to they get to reign for sure. But they are just absolutely stunning. I do use the Sluggo bait. That's that snail and slug bait. It's an organic solution. It is safe to use around your vegetables, your pets, your children, whatever. It's little pellets, and the snails and the slugs will eat it, and they leave your hostas and your plants alone. So there you go for that. We did add 2 rhododendrons. These are the same rhododendrons. So we have one here and one over here. This is the English Rosum. That is the same rhododendrons that are in the unique stone urns. I don't know that the rhododendrons are going to stay in the urns. They may not. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But yes, so those are going to, of course, be a nice evergreen shrub. Really pretty colors, nice soft pink. I'll show you the one other up close as we get down there. And then coming in with some of the Rocapuco Rose Double Impatient. Now, they're a little dirty because Andrew was putting mulch down, but he did an amazing job and kept them nice and clean. Just did a little bit of rain, clean them up. These are shade-loving annuals. We have them in a nice little swoosh right here. When Mimi and I were placing our annuals, because this bed, yes, it's on irrigation, but because of all the trees and the tree roots in both of these beds that we're going to be in, the competition for water is extremely fierce. So each annual we placed right at an emitter in the drip tube. So we use drip tubing. We don't have overhead. This is all drip tubing. That's why Andrew came back through and gave us a nice little clean mulch to hide any of that irrigation, and of course then to top dress and feed the plants. But each annual is right at an emitter. So when the irrigation is on, they will get watered and do really nicely. We have Fat Albert in the back. Fat Albert is a fun blue-green conifer back here. This is the best he looks in the season. It doesn't like our heat and humidity very well. Then we have Lady in Red ferns. I adore this fern. Really nice and soft. And yes, I know that Blue Angel is kind of taken over Lady in Red right here. For now, it's fine. If we need to move her later, we can, and then those are some more as we go through. Mimi and I did add an Akuba. Akubas are back here. The one is back here in the back. It is an evergreen, shade-loving shrub. really fun color on it. Dark green with some yellow speckles to it. Really long, elongated leaves that are heavily serrated. This will get nice and big. This can get to be, I want to say, in that 6 to 10 tall and wide, which is perfectly fine because, I mean, I can easily move the, the fern if I need to. We got plenty of room for the sign. It'll look gorgeous next to the loropetalums, right? And it'll give me some height in this corner right here and just give me some weight against that sign. So that one was a new addition. The Everillo grass, we love Everillo grass. It is an evergreen grass that gives us that bright chartreuse color. So even in the winter, we have the Everillo and we have the loropetalums all doing quite nicely. Let's see, let's go. We added also a fatsia. Now fatsias are another really fun perennial shrub. I don't know if it's technically a shrub or a perennial. I don't know on that one. I thought it was a perennial, but it is a shade-loving plant that will also get some good size to it. I want to say it's that 4 to 6 tall and wide. So fun. I mean, the leaves on this thing are huge. So that kind of balances out with the akuba on the other side, gives us a really fun kind of texture and all going on right here. The Japanese maple is loving life. And it looks so pretty right here with the euonymus. Euonymus is going to be a shrub, obviously gorgeous color to it. I love the weigilla that we added last year. Gorgeous dark color to it. We have, of course, there's hydrangeas in here, and these are macrophylla hydrangeas. They are covered in buds, so that is lovely. The weigilla have also, they're on the end of their bloom cycle, but they were blooming gorgeous, nice dark color. That's why we came in here with some of the petite little small miniature coleus. So this is a great chartreuse mini coleus that will really kind of fill in, really kind of accent that plant, and then of course ties into the euchera, right? So all those kind of colors tie in together. When you have a little empty space, let's just go ahead and fill it in. It's kind of a fun, funky shape. It's because of the irrigation, right? So we're like, well, we're gonna really lean into the curves. So there you go, that is what we did. We also went ahead and planted a beautiful, this is Let's Dance Rhythmic Blue Hydrangea from our friends at Proven Winners. This is going to be color specific. Excuse me, it is not color specific, it is pH dependent. So with me and my acidic soil, it is going to be in that blue family. You can see that it is just cracking some color, covered in flower buds. Cannot wait to see how this one just grows and develops. So stinking fun. I love it. I love the colors. And then the other English Rosum rhododendron, you can see it's a nice soft pink right there. That is just a beautiful, beautiful plant with our lemony lace elderberry back there. Like, look how good that looks, y'all. This was just planted last year. And lemony lace is doing really nicely here. Nice, beautiful, fun, bright pops of color back here in the back. It's all working together quite nicely. The hydrangeas up against the fence, these are all Annabelles. Classic Annabelle. So they have been here for quite a few years, ever since the bed was here. They have kind of naturalized. You can see that they've kind of like spread out some. They are, of course, covered in buds. I'm hopeful that for the wedding in 2.5 weeks, we'll have some color on them. It'll all just depend on the weather. Of course, the downside with the Annabelles is that they can flop. So they get these big, huge, massive white flowers on them, and then you'll inevitably get a summer storm of some wind and rain, and then those big, huge heads are full of water and they lay down. That is why, that's the downside of an Annabelle hydrangea. It's a smooth hydrangea, meaning that it blooms on new growth, it loves the sun, it's very sun tolerant. If that drives you crazy, then go for the Incrediball. Incrediball is a lot stronger stems. We just had Annabelles here, so I love them. So I'm just gonna lean into them, you know? Why take them out? They're beautiful, so we're just gonna go with it right there. Now, 2 new additions that we added. We have Alice Oak Leaf Hydrangea. Alice is right here. Alice is a classic oak leaf hydrangea. Of course, it gets its name because it has those beautiful oak leaf shaped leaves on it. Nice, big, huge conical blooms. It can get big, 8 to 12 tall and wide, I believe, so that's fine. And yes, it literally is planted behind the sign, because when you're leaving and you're leaving the nursery, you will be able to see it. Also, imagine 8 to 12 feet wide. It can come out a whole nother like 6 feet this way and up. So it'll be like peeking out from behind the sign. Why not? Have fun. It can be a little whimsical. And then this is a fun new anise. Well, new for us at least. This is going to be an evergreen anise. It has really cool foliage to it. Cece was one of these that saw this on one of the lists, and so she grabbed it up. Great coloration to it because it is an anise. That means that it's going to be more deer resistant, more rabbit resistant. It'll do just really fun, cool, different kind of foliage in it, and this will get a nice size too as well. That's one that we're going to have up on the screen, my friends, because Jenny cannot at this point in the day remember all the details. So we'll have some pictures and you can see it that way. We do have those at the nursery if you're available, because Jenny shopped at the nursery yesterday. All right, now what we did today is this flower bed. This was the Woodland garden. It is, obviously you can see that they just flow into each other. We are not going to put down the same mulch there as here. We're going to keep this more natural. We have lots of good leaf litter in there. Mimi and Jackson in the fall, they come through, they chop up the leaves, they lay it down. We had added lots of good compost. So it has all of that in there and is doing really, really well. Irrigation is in this flower bed as well. So we're just going to recap just really quickly. Ruby Slippers hydrangea, another oak leaf hydrangea. We have 4 of them right here, and you can see that same classic oak leaf on it. And then of course all the buds, so they are coming out. You will also notice that we have a sweet little new Bashful Betty. So Bashful Betty has joined us. I will say, just because I'm all about full disclosure right now, and I'm at the end of the day, and when I get tired I tend to get a little chippy and more truthful and more honest. So I guess the good side of owning a nursery is when, or a garden center, is when we bring Unique Stone in. Sometimes those products come in damaged, right? So she's not sellable because her legs has a really big crack in the back of her, so she's not structurally sound, so she's not able to sell. But if I put her in the display garden, nobody can see it because it's on the back of her legs, not on the front of her legs. So we did that with this one, and then we have a Charleston bird bath boy that we did the same thing with. So, you know, it all works out. There's got to be a couple little benefits of owning your own business and having tractor trailers arrive at your home at crazy hours of the day. But I love in here is the Diamond Lake hosta. Now the Diamond Lakes, they were here, we installed these last year, and there's 3 of them. Beautiful blue-green foliage on this Diamond Lake. They are very happy. They popped, this overwinter. They've been here for the whole time and just doing so nice. In fact, getting ready to have some flowers on those, but just a gorgeous color, gorgeous, gorgeous. So Diamond Lake, beautiful blue hosta with all of that gorgeous color to it, and then it just kind of brings a bit of brightness back here in the back. To accentuate even more brightness, we went ahead and planted some Diamond Frost. Now you may be going, but Jenny, you just said you've got Diamond Frost, which is more of a sun plant, next to a hosta, which is more of a shade plant. We have found that the euphorbias are going to be more shade tolerant. So we did, again, following the irrigation, but Diamond Mountain will get really big. So it's going to be this mass of white right there. So when you're looking at it from back here, which is more the view of the customers when they leave, will be back here. Now maybe on the camera it's not showing up, but Diamond Mountain gets the biggest, right? So right back there you'll have a beautiful pop of white right there. We of course have got lots of hostas in here. This one right here is the Love Story. So Love Story is a nice variegated, of course, kind of that creamy yellow center, just Great, beautiful. And then I put them in groups of 3. As they grow and develop, they'll hopefully start to kiss each other and be a huge mass all in here. Of course, we have eucharas, we have hellebores, Lenten roses. Went ahead and added some of the new webmaster, the spiderwort. I had 7 plants, so we have a group of 4 right here, and then we have a group of 3 right there. The spacing on those guys was 24 inches, and they're not quite 24 inches. They're probably more like 18. So imagine just a huge mass. This is going to be more controlled. If you're used to spider's wort, it can get really aggressive in the garden. Much more controlled, and it can do sun or shade. This is definitely going to be more shade. I have the same plant down at the house that gets hot, full sun, and she's doing great. I mean, like, she is loving life. So I'm testing it out and seeing how everybody is doing together. The Savannah Urn from Unique Stone, of course, it has mostly perennials. We do have one of the annuals in there. It has the Feather Falls grass. It has the hosta. It's got a euchera. That is on drip irrigation, so everybody's going to be filling out. And then we came in through here with some of the Lime Thyme Coleus. Again, to bring that chartreuse color in. Yes, they are planted directly on emitters. And so remember, Color Blaze Coleus, sun or shade, and they will get a really big size. So I know that those 2, we planted them in groups of 2. They're spread out. It will not take long for them to look like one mass plant. So when you're standing back against that chartreuse, against this blue cadet hosta, just a really gorgeous color combination. A little bit of annuals. We said, let's bring some annuals in here. The lower side of the flower bed right here gets more sun. This is, of course, is the Catalina Pink Terrenia. It will do sun or shade. So this is a great ground cover. If you want to put it in a pot, it is going to be a really fun trailer, a spiller. So putting it here, again, just imagine mass color in a ribbon. And then, yes, my daffodils, that is the foliage, and that is the deal on that. Bringing back this is the purple, Rocapuco Purple Impatient. So there's one that's in the Savannah Urn, and then following, we have a really fun ribbon right there. Again, as they begin to grow, they will look like one mass plant, a ribbon just right through there. Really neat. Yeah, so more new hostas. This is the Dancing in the Moonlight right here from our friends at Walter's Gardens. So Dancing in the Moonlight is going to be a really cool hosta, and you can see that we had 5 of them, and we planted them in that, again, in kind of a line. So imagine we're going to have, instead of a big huge group, a clump, we're going to have a line of them there. And then we just came through, right? Some of these hostas have already been here. Like, of course, these guys were already there. I don't remember what they are, y'all. That I did not do well in my sign. I do not see my sign. So I'll try to figure that out and throw that up there for you. And then, of course, you can see that is the Charleston Bird Bath Boy. He too is broken on his back legs. But yeah, he looks really sweet right there. And then as we come on down, we have one more little pocket of some Coleus and the Diamond Mountain that is there. So that will bring a nice little pop of color. And you can see, I need to get my auger because it is still right there. So I'm tired. Hopefully this video made sense. Hopefully you have gotten some ideas, some inspiration out of it. But this is a really, especially this side of the flower bed, like this woodland garden bed, it is new. I think it's like, if we're probably like right at a year, maybe just a smidge over a year old. And so to see these grow and develop, Mimi and I were talking future plans for this bed. Probably need to add in some more shrubs. I have a lot of the japonica camellias and then some sasanquas in here, but I'm feeling like I need to get some more oomph in the back. We're going into the heat of the summer. Now is not the time for me to add the shrubs in there. It's not that you can't add the shrubs, it's my season of life. You would need to kind of take care of them and make sure, because they're competing for water against these trees. We're going into an extremely busy season in our life with the wedding, the signature experience, life in general, the nursery. So if I'm going to add shrubs, I'm going to personally wait until the fall, because that's when it calms down a little bit more. The plants are not as needy because it's cooler, we get more rain, so forth and so on. You absolutely can plant shrubs right now. It's just me personally, I can't do it. But right now I am extremely happy with how everything looks. This flower bed had a good bit of weeds in here, so we had to get in here and do some weeding. But overall, extremely happy with how this whole area looks. So when you come visit the nursery, we would love for you. You can walk up from the nursery, or as you drive by, look out the window and check it out. It's just a fun inspiration for you to be able to see what a new woodland garden looks like, trying to get colors, textures, annuals, perennials, shrubs, a little bit of yard art in there, some fun stone pieces, you name it, we got it. I can now check this off the list. All we have to do is make sure that it gets watered when it needs to be watered, and we are good to go. So now I can turn my attention back to the house. Full-time job around here, but it's absolutely fantastic. I love it. It is gorgeous. All right, my friends, I'm gonna figure out what's for supper. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks as always. Bye, guys.